shower pan is poured and done. It's always a misnomer to say that I poured it. I packed it. I packed my shower pan full of mortar. A couple of things. If you notice, there's a line. There's a black line on the back. Black line over there. So what I do is I take a scrap piece of 2x4, in this case 2x6, and I put a magic marker, and I set the magic marker right on top of it. So 2.5 inches plus another 1/2 inch that the magic marker is going to bump up, and then I just run it across. Just where you see that line at, that's what I did. So that's a 2-inch perimeter down to about 3/4 inch at the drain, which is more than enough slope. So I'm not going to go into how to set a mortar pan. There's enough videos on YouTube from years and years ago, including mine, on how to do that. But you do want it level. This is level all 4 ways around, and you want your drain, especially a square one. I usually measure both those measurements and both these measurements here to make sure that it's square. Sometimes you can't tell. That's it. That is the end of my day. 4-to-1 Mapei. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I rarely switch over, but up here, it's all I could get. I don't like it. It doesn't do what I want it to do the way I like it done, if that makes any sense. When you've done mortar long enough and you're packing it down and you're screeding it and you're moving it around, you want it to do certain things easily, and this one is not easy. This would be in line with the Home Depot Quikrete. In fact, I prefer Quikrete over this. But honestly, I like Lowe's brand, which is, what is it called? Not Quikrete, Sakrete. I like Sakrete mortar mix. Love it, love it, love it. They didn't have it here at this Lowe's, so I was unfortunately relegated to use this. But I don't like it. It doesn't do what I want it to. It's really hard to explain. I don't like it. I would not buy it again, regardless and despite the name brand on it. Name brands don't mean anything to me. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. Tomorrow is going to be the wallboard. The wallboard will fill in all of this gap all the way around, about maybe 1/2 inch or so off of the mortar pan, so it doesn't wick up water. Once I get the wallboard put in, I'll put some thinset in there, let it dry out, and then I will waterproof the wall. I'll wait till probably the day after tomorrow before I waterproof the pan. I want this to set up the rest of this day through tomorrow and then into the 3rd day. And then I'll waterproof the pan surface, and then I'll be ready to tile the pan proper. And then I'll be able to tile the walls. All right, it is the next day. The pan dried up very, very nicely. I still don't like this mortar. Just something about it I don't like. Seems to be, even though I vacuumed this floor after I did all the wallboard, there seems to be, I don't know, like a little dust or something, little sand particles. I don't know, just don't like it. But it's okay, you know, everybody has to start somewhere. So my wallboard is up, Durarock meeting up to the HardieBacker that used to be there. A couple of things I want to talk about. If you haven't watched my videos before, then you'll know that I always leave that little gap between the shower pan proper and the wallboard, because my tile is going to slide into that little gap. And no, I don't do any caulking or anything like that. No, I don't think water will ever get in there. I will take my brush as I put my RedGuard and all that stuff on the surface. I will take my brush and I will hit that edge, and I will hit the bottom of the edge of the wallboard with my brush. Yeah, even if water got in there, it's innocuous. I can't imagine water's going to go backwards, and there's going to be grout at the bottom anyway. What else? So when I fashion my wallboard in there, there's going to be a very slight crack, a gap, if you will, between the old wallboard and the new wallboard. And I go up there with my blade, and I fill in that gap all the way around. So it just becomes kind of sort of one piece. So unfortunately, one of the issues I ran into that I could not really mitigate, and I should have known this from the very start. You see how close that tile is onto the wall? Because I use mastic I use mastic on this tile, so there's like hardly any room for thin set at all, which means that the room that I have in here is just enough for tile. It's not enough for any thin set. So I have to go to Home Depot and get some mastic and just replicate what they did before. If I had been smarter, which I've never been accused of that, but if I had been smarter, I would have used 1/4 inch HardieBacker in here. It'd be a little flimsy, but I would use 1/4 inch. That way I would have enough room. I would have that extra little 1/4 inch to screed out some thin set. But, you know, it is what it is. I should have given that a little bit more thought, because there's just not enough room for any kind of thin set to go in there. So that's it. This pan has had a little better than 24 hours to dry, and I want it to dry the rest of the day before I start encapsulating waterproofer into there. So yeah, there's that. Alright, I'm getting close to the end. I put a couple coats of RedGuard on here today. I put some ledger boards up to hold up this tile because, again, this is mastic that's holding it up and it needs to dry really well. So that's going to stay up all the way through the evening until tomorrow, along with the OG pieces that are on the front side. So that's done. Now I'm doing my layout-ish. You know, they end up ending where they end. We'll give you one tip. You see these pointy ends here, all of that? It used to be over there, and I cut those off. That makes life a lot easier for everybody, including you if you ever do these hexagon tile, which all we're doing is hexagon lately. I could have opted to cut those two off, but it's only 2 of them, 3 of them. So I'll just cut those pieces. But I did cut those end pieces. That one that's missing was cracked, so I took that out. It takes about 1.5-ish to 2 hours to do a floor. This one's a little bigger than most, but all of it is relatively easy. You know, straight row. The only cuts I'm doing is when I get down to the end. Well, at the beginning and the end. So, anyway, yeah, nothing more to say. Tomorrow I will grout this floor tile, and then I will pull my ledger boards off, and then I will put in the pieces that go at the bottom, which is actually going to be, I don't have one handy, but it's a natural stone type of tile, and so that little 4 inches, remember there was a skirt there before, so now it's going to be this rough looking natural stone tile that's going to be in there. So that will all go in tomorrow after this is grouted, and then it's just a matter of grouting the wall afterward. So yeah, another day and a half. All the skirt tile is up. Did that today. I grouted the floor, and the skirt tile will get grouted tomorrow. Then it's done. Finished. So that's another one. Alright, this is the end. This is the finished product. If you remember on my last video, go to my channel for my last video. Those trim tile and that bottom one came off all the way around, and it had a skirt on there. When I say skirt, a bottom piece that's different from the rest, it had a skirt on there that we could not get again, so we just went with a different one. And it had 2 drains, if you remember, one here, one over here. Consolidated that to 1 drain and made it like it never happened. So there are contractors out there that will make a dime any way they can. I mean, literally, they told me that. off of material, off of everything they possibly can. And there are a lot of contractors who I've heard from people that don't want to do a shower pan because they want this job. Arguably, this would be, labor-wise, about 15 to 20 grand for labor, and then another probably 5,000 in material. Could be better than 5,000, but basically you're looking at somewhere between 20 to 30,000 to take all that stuff out and start from scratch. And there's no reason to start from scratch when the pan failed. Everything ankle below always fails. But there are scrupulous contractors out there that will not touch a pan because they're not going to make the money they want. Yes, I would like to make, 15, 20 grand doing a shower, but I don't want to take somebody's money when it's not necessary. For me to do this pan, even out of town, the way I am, I charge about 6 grand. So 6 or 25 to 30. This is a better bet. Yes, arguably 6,000 is expensive to do a pan, but since everything fails, you can build a tile on a wall in 2 days. Like, all this could be done in 2 days. But this all takes about 6 to 7 days to complete this using natural material. I don't mean foam curbs and foam pans and foam walls. I mean natural material, the way we're used to. This is about minimum 5 to 6 days to do that, and another couple days to do all that. And yeah. If you have a failed shower, whether you're watching this now or watching it in the future, a year or 2, 5 years from now, after this video posts, and you have a failed shower, it's never going to be the drain because it never has been, and it's never going to be the shower valves because it never has been. It's always going to be a major malfunction of the contractor who built your shower, with the bottom part, number 1. Your walls aren't leaking. Your knee wall may leak, but not in this case. Your bench could leak, but not in this case. It's everything ankle below. So yeah. Better to spend a little bit now than a lot more with somebody else. Again, I'm not hating on the guys that want to make money, but and I know, if you're out there listening, and I know that none of this mattered as far as the leak goes. So then why try and rip off your customer? I have no idea why you would want to do that. No idea.
Hey, if that video helped you, or any of my videos helped you whatsoever, then think about being a Patreon member. A Patreon member means that you're supporting me by $1, $5, $10 a month on a continuum, or you could do a one donation type of thing, for that advice that I'm giving you for free. I don't make anything off of YouTube. I don't have merchandise to sell. I don't have no membership. I don't have no PDF form that I can send you on how to do things. My videos are free to watch. YouTube pays me nothing. And you need personal advice, $50 for a phone call. Send me on PayPal $50 and your phone number, and we'll talk. And I'll walk you verbally through your project and help you out with that.